Good. So what all are you guys doing this afternoon? Coming here, and then are you going to a park to eat lunch? Is that right? Which park are you guys going to? The one down by the river. Awesome. So you guys are holding hands. Tell me what your mascot is. Cardinal. Is it with an S or without? Like, is it the Cardinal or is it Cardinals? Cardinals. All right. Well, welcome to the city building. My name is Brad Staten. I'm the mayor here in Henderson. I've been the mayor here for about 3.5 years. And today we're going to learn a lot more about city government. And I've got some people I'm going to introduce you to right from the beginning, and then they will help us kind of along the way a little bit. So we've got Commissioner Robert Pruitt. Can everybody say hi, Commissioner Robert Pruitt?
Hi, Commissioner.
Sorry, I give him a lot. He's like, hi forward. Yeah. This is Commissioner Rodney Thomas. Can everybody say hi, Commissioner Thomas?
Hi, Commissioner Thomas.
All right, thank you. And this is Miss Jessa Brandon. She's our city clerk. Can you say hi, Miss Jessa?
Hi, Miss Jessa.
And this is Renisa Abner. She's our county clerk. Can everybody say hi, Miss Renisa?
Hi, Miss Renisa.
Thank you. And as we go along today, I'm going to be asking you quite often for volunteers to do things, okay? And usually you all are our last class of the year. We bring in the 5th grade classes from all the schools, from almost all the schools. There were 2 that couldn't participate because of dates and timing and stuff, but we try to bring in the 5th graders from all the schools to have you learn more about what city government here in Henderson is like, okay? And if you don't get an opportunity to volunteer, there will be 4 or 5 or 6 different chances to volunteer throughout the entire program. So we're going to start with talking about what the mayor and what the city commission does, okay? So I am the mayor of the city, and I serve on a board called the city commission. And that board has 4 city commissioners on it. And you met Commissioner Pruitt, you met Commissioner Thomas. We've also got Commissioner Witt and Commissioner Hargis, and the 5 of us vote on a lot of different things in the city. We vote on how our tax rates are going to be, and how much money we're going to bring in, and how much money we're going to spend out, and what we're going to prioritize, and how we're going to spend that money. Does anybody have a guess as to how much money we spend out in our budget on a yearly basis? Yeah, how much do you think? Like 10 million? What about you?
50 million.
Okay. It's 50 million. That's a good guess. Yeah. No, right off the bat. So we are somewhere between 45 and 50 million dollars is about how big our budget is. And we decide how much money we take in and where we set our tax rates. And so people pay taxes on things like the homes that they own. People pay taxes when they work, on their wages that they earn. When they pay insurance premiums, like house insurance or medical insurance, they pay taxes. And so we set those rates, and then we get to decide what we're going to spend them on. Sometimes we spend them on not sometimes, we all the time try to spend them on important things. But there are things that we have to do, like provide for a safe city, for example. So we spend money on our police department and fire department, emergency services, to make sure that our city can be as safe as it can be. Then we spend money on stuff like our roads. How often we repair our roads, or when we build new roads, or when we fill potholes and things like that, things that are necessary. And then sometimes we get to spend things on stuff that's fun and stuff that impacts you guys. Has anybody been to the new sports complex? Yeah, most everybody's been to the new sports complex, right? So we, a couple of years ago, got to decide on spending money on a new sports complex. And then there's all different kinds of decisions. If we're going to have grass fields or turf fields. Commissioner Thomas was actually really, really vocal about making sure that we had turf fields and a very nice stadium. And the rest of the commission was in agreement. And so the first section of that sports complex is done. And now we're taking a look at a kind of a cool project that you may have heard about over the last week. We have need to add additional parking at our sports complex, because when we bring in tournaments, we have like 30 teams show up at one time. And we have to have places for all those people to park. We also, we're going to put up a billboard at the back of the property where this other parking is going to go. And it's right along, if I say Audubon Parkway, do you guys know where the Audubon Parkway is? It's the road, a major road that goes from Henderson to Owensboro. So if you've been on a road that has no stoplights where you can drive 70 miles an hour and get to Owensboro, that's the Audubon Parkway. So the back of the sports complex backs up to the Audubon Parkway. So we were going to put a billboard there for people who drive by to see, and we can sell advertisements. Well, the more we talked, we thought about it, and if we have all this parking and we have an electronic billboard on the back side of that, those are 2 of the most expensive components for a drive-in movie theater. A place for people to park and a screen to watch the movie on. And so now we're working on a project that you're probably not going to see any progress on until next year, but we're looking at bringing back a small drive-in movie theater to also give you guys something to do and help make money for the sports complex to supplement the revenues there. So that's a little bit about what we do, and we're going to learn a lot more about the city manager form of government, but right now, we're going to learn a little bit about elections, okay? What is this that I've got right here in the front of the class? Anybody tell me what is this?
Tree stump?
A tree stump, yeah, it's a tree stump. Anybody imagine why I might have a tree stump in front of your class? Why do you think I have a tree stump up here?
Maybe to show something, use it.
Maybe show something and use it. So I'm going to use it right now, and I'm going to tell you, has anybody ever heard of what's called a stump speech? Okay? So what's a stump speech? You know what a stump speech is?
Like where you come up in front of the class and you talk about why you want to do something.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, so what she said, and by the way, we're going to do a lot of clapping in this class because one thing that adults don't do enough of today is we don't support each other whenever we get up in front of people and talk or whenever we run for office or things like that. But you're exactly right. So what she said was that a stump speech is where you get up and you tell somebody why you want to do something. So when I say back in the day, I mean before I was born, before my parents were born, before you guys were born, surely. There didn't used to be internet, there didn't used to be television or telephone or any of that stuff. And so when people wanted to get other people's attention, a lot of times what they would do is literally stand on top of a tree stump or maybe a small wall. Because what that does is it elevates you, it makes you taller, but it also grabs people's attention. And when you got their attention, that's when you deliver that speech on why you might be running for office, for example. So if somebody was going to run for mayor of Henderson back in the mid-1800s, they might have stood on top of a tree stump. They might have actually even carried a tree stump with them to the river and stood on top of the tree stump and said something like, hear ye, I'm running for mayor. And everybody would come around, they tell them why, right? And so now, what we're going to do here is we're going to elect a mayor of your mock city this morning. And what that involves is not yet, but when I ask for it, I'm going to need 4 volunteers to come up to the front of the room. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're literally going to stand on top of this tree stump right here next to me. And you're going to tell the rest of the class why they should vote for you to be the mayor of our mock city government. And then later on, we're also going to have 4 city commissioners and a city clerk, a city attorney, and a city manager. And we're going to talk through some things. We're going to run a simulation and let you all vote on a specific issue that's going on in your mock city this morning. So if you are willing to come up and give a speech, and you'd like to run for mayor of Holy Name Mock City this morning, raise your hand, and we'll have those people come up right here. We'll have one, and just come up here and stand right over here next to me, right here. You knew what a stump speech is, so I want you to come up and give a stump speech. That would be great. Right here, and then right here. So we've got 4 people. Everybody give them a big round of applause for volunteering. All right. I'm going to start right here with you. Can you tell me what your name is?
Sloan Koontz.
Sloan Koontz. All right. So this is Sloan Koontz. Sloan is going to, if you would, come stand on top of this tree stump. If you start to wobble, grab onto my shoulder. I don't want you to fall. Okay, you got it? All right. Good firm balance. All right. So Sloan is going to run for mayor of Mock City government this morning. Sloan, can you tell the rest of the class in as loud of a voice as you can, no, don't do it, but in as loud of a voice as you can, why should they vote for you to be the mayor of Mock City government this morning?
I'm really respectful to my teachers, and I treat my friends the same. Like, I don't favorite friends, and
You're doing great.
I'm not afraid to stand up for what's right, and I'm very nice.
Good job. Everybody give Sloan a round of applause. Got it? And then stand right over here. And next up, what's your name?
Sydney.
Sydney? All right. Everybody give Sydney a big round of applause. Okay, you got it? All right. Sydney, tell your class why you should be mayor for my city this month.
Because I'll build a lot of parks.
You have a lot of parks.
There you go.
It's okay. You got it.
And I'll bring a lot of Mexican restaurants.
Parks and Mexican restaurants.
And if you send me a letter, I'll do what you want.
And if you she'll do what you want. All right, everybody give her a big round of applause. What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie, can you stand up on this tree stop, please? All right. If you start to wobble, grab onto my shoulder, okay? So this is Charlie. Give Charlie a big round of applause. Miss Charlie, can you tell the class why they should vote for you to be mayor of Knox City Government this morning?
I think y'all should vote for me because I'm really respectful and I want to do what's best for y'all.
Good job. And what's your name? Jace? All right, Jace. Everybody give Jace a big round of applause. Jace, if you would, tell the class why they should vote for you to be mayor of Knox City Government this morning.
Because I think I should vote for me because I feel like I'm really good at being nice to my friends and also for people who play sports, I'm very supportive to those who play sports. And I'm respectful to people that are out of class and class and most of the people who I don't know.
All right, so okay, so right now what I want you to do is reach down and grab that piece of paper and pen. And what these are going to serve as your ballots. Has anybody ever heard the term ballot before? Yeah, so most people are familiar. A ballot, when you go to an election, a ballot's going to have all the information that you need on there in terms of who's running, what races they're running for, and then you typically fill in a little bubble next to the name that you want to vote for. In this case, we don't have any information on your paper, so you're going to have to write just the first name of whoever you'd like to vote for. Before you do, though, let's hear from them about their names again one more time. I know you know them, but I'm going to remind myself too. So this is
Jace Raines.
Jace Raines.
Charlie Mitchell.
Charlie Mitchell.
Sydney Hess.
Sydney Hess.
Sloan Coons.
Sloan Coons. Okay, so you all can return to your seats. And while you're returning to your seats and while we're voting, you all get the chance to vote too. Raise your hand if you think that you are not allowed to vote for yourself. Okay, about half the room. Raise your hand, a little bit more than half the room. Raise your hand if you think you can vote for yourself. No, okay, so not very many people do. The actual answer is you can vote for yourself. And I know it's interesting. It doesn't seem like at your age, it doesn't seem like that's how that works. But in reality, with voting rights, is you have the same voting rights as anybody else, regardless of if you're a candidate for office or not. So I'm going to ask the commissioners a question, and I'm going to include myself. Out of the three of us, raise your hand if you've voted for yourself before. Okay, so you have a chance. You have a chance to vote for yourself, and if you're running, you probably think that you're going to do a very good job for the community. So you can vote for yourself if you're running for mayor. Okay? Did you have a question? Your pen? Oh, yeah. If your pen doesn't work, just ask your neighbor to use their pen. And then we are going to certify the election and figure out who won. But while we're doing that, we're going to talk a little bit more about city government. So we are a city manager form of government or a city commission form of government here in Henderson. And with the city commission form of government, I mentioned earlier that we have a mayor and we have 4 city commissioners. So we have 5 people total who are the voting members of the city commission. Can anybody tell me why you think we have 5 people or why we have an odd number of people on the city commission? Yes?
That way, if there's a tie, there's someone that can break the tie.
That's perfect. Yeah, if there's a tie, there's someone who can break the tie. It's also the reason why we might have 9 Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court and to break a tie. And so that sometimes is the case. We don't always agree on everything. We don't always vote the same way. And so we have 5 people on there, and we all have equal votes. Okay, so my vote counts exactly the same as Commissioner Pruitt's vote. It counts exactly the same as Commissioner Thomas's vote. In order for something to pass, we have to have what's called a majority. Does everyone know what the word majority means? So most people do. So out of 5 people, if we were going to have a majority in something we're going to pass, how many people would have to vote for it? Yes? 3. Yeah, pretty easy math, correct? Now, we have something else. I'm going to introduce you to another term. It's called quorum. A lot of people haven't heard of that word before. I don't know if I can spell it like Q-U-O-R-U-M or O-M or something like that. But it's quorum. A quorum just means the minimum amount of people who has to show up to vote on something for it to count legally. So we have to have at least 3 people show up at a city commission meeting in order for us to be able to do business and to vote on things. If we had 3 people show up and we needed a majority of people to vote on an issue for it to pass, how many people out of those 3 people would need to vote? 2, right? Now, what happens if we have 4 people show up? How many people would have to how many people would have to vote in favor of something?
You would have to have at least 3.
At least 3, right? Because if 2 happen, we have a tie, right? And so while we're looking at it and while they're figuring out who the mayor is, we're going to have 4 people who are going to come up and sit down. We don't have time to do elections for every single office in our simulation this morning, but we're going to have 4 people come up and sit. Not yet. I'll promise. I'll get to you in just a second. We're going to have 4 people come up and sit as city commissioners. I'm going to ask the city commissioners that we've got here, do either one of you all want to elaborate and tell them what a city commissioner does?
I'm Robert Pruitt. I'm a 7-term city commissioner. I am the only African American in the history of this city for over 200-some years who's ever won 2 elections, 3 elections, 4 elections, 5 elections, 6 elections, 7 elections, and hopefully going to my 8th term. So I thank God for that honor. A city commissioner, what it does, number one thing the city commissioner should do is make sure that all you citizens are safe. That's with police, firemen, stuff like that. Ambulance, so if you get sick and you call 911, there's somebody gonna come help you. Second thing is to make sure that the city services like trash, electricity, when you cut the lights on when you go home, make sure all that stuff's on, water, all that. The third thing to do, I think they make laws so that when your mother and father go to work, how much money does the government take out of their check? So our job is to make sure they keep as much for you guys to go on vacation to Florida, go down and see Harry Potter and all that. So those are the type of things we do. I would think if I had to pick one, making sure that we run our government in a way that represents all the people. We sometimes we have government and some people say, hey, I don't think they favor us or this and that. But our job is to make sure the government sees everybody. So that's what city commissioner's job is.
All right.
All right, I'm Rodney Thomas. This is my 6th year as a city commissioner. And I echo everything that Robert said, or Commissioner Pruitt. But the main thing that we do is when we sit up there, we're not any more important than you guys are. You guys elect us. So when we're sitting up there, we have to represent you guys because y'all pay our salaries. So we have to do what you want. If you guys want a sports park, we got to find a way to get a sports park. So the bottom line, always remember, we work for you. No matter what age you are or where you come from, we still work for you.
Good job, guys. Everybody give them a big round of applause. It's very difficult to get up and speak in front of people, no matter how old they are. And I think both of them did a very good job. And so now we're going to ask for volunteers to come up and sit on the city commission. And I'm going to ask Mr. Pruitt to pick 2 people who would like to be city commissioners. Yes, sir.
Yes. 1 and yeah.
All right. And if you would, yes, you do. If you would go up around here and just sit, there's 2 spots. It'll say city commissioner. There's 2 spots right here. If you guys will sit right here. Oh, are you okay? There's a step there. You all right, buddy? All right.
That's my seat.
All right. See there. And we've got 2 more coming. All right. If you would, just come around here, and there's 2 right here. 2 city commissioners. Right here. Watch out for your step. Got it? All right. We're in good shape. Thanks, guys. Everybody. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about city manager. Okay, our city manager is in meetings this morning. He couldn't come. But I want to talk to you about salaries, for example. So all of our salaries are public record. So raise your hand if you think you know how much money on a yearly basis I make as mayor of the city. Yeah, what's your guess?
Like in one day?
No, it's for a year. For a year.
Oh, P-O-L-E. 150,000?
150,000. $1 million? Oh my goodness.
I wish. Yeah.
That's got me about that.
500,000.
Dang.
650,000.
230,000.
230,000. That was very specific. 300,000? One more guess. 250,000 is what you said? I make $20,000 a year as the mayor of the city of Henderson, okay? But that's a function of our city government, all right? There's a lot of people who look at our city government and they see how much our city manager, for example, and we're going to talk about his salary, they see how much our city manager makes, and they automatically assume that the city manager makes too much money. It's a lot of money for Henderson, and we hear all kinds of things, right? But it's a function of our city government. There's another type of city government that's called a mayor-council form of government. In those governments, the mayor usually makes six figures, and the city manager makes around $80,000 or $90,000 a year. And so together, those two people actually make more money than in our government with our city manager and our mayor. The reason that I make so little money is that in theory, I'm a part-time mayor. In theory, because we have a city manager who is here on the day-to-day, who all the departments in the city, our police, our fire, our public works, every department that we have, accounting and finance and IT and computers and parks and all these things, they all report to our city manager. He or she, it's a he in this case, has a lot of responsibility to take care of the day-to-day stuff on a constant basis, on a daily basis for the city. He's also responsible for carrying out the direction that the commissioners and myself give to him in terms of what we want to see happen in the city of Henderson. How much money do you think the city manager makes on a yearly basis? Yeah. 100K? You don't know? 15,000?
300,000?
300,000? One more guess.
75.
75. The city manager in Henderson makes about $160,000 a year. Just so you guys know, it's all public record, right? And the reason that he makes that much money, I just explained, in our form of government, he has a lot of responsibility, a whole lot of responsibility. And even though I am technically considered a part-time mayor, which means I have two jobs. I work as a financial advisor, and I've been doing that for about 20 years. And I'm also in the mayor of the city. And so I have an office on this street, just a couple doors down from where we're at. And then I've got an office on 2nd Street, where I do financial advising businesses, where I make the majority of the money that I make. But even though that's the case, I still put in lots and lots and lots of hours. We all do, to help run the city. So right now, I'm going to ask for a volunteer to come up and be our city manager for today's exercise. Yeah, if you want to come up. So if you will go around that way and watch your step when you go up, city manager is going to sit right here. And when you sit down, if you would, put those lanyards around your neck. So the city manager is right here. And then we've got two other seats to fill. One's going to be a city attorney. Okay, yeah, no, we'll just do volunteers right away. Yeah, come on up. City attorney's going to be right there on the end. Excuse me. What our city attorney does is helps keeps us legal. She helps to write most of the laws that we pass or that we consider here at the city. And she also helps us run the meetings. And so I run the meetings whenever we're here. And by saying I run the meetings, it just means that I have to make sure that procedurally we stay on task. So we follow a book called Robert's Rules of Parliamentary Procedure. It's a lot of words, but basically it just tells us how to do motions and the stuff that we're going to learn about here in just a second. But the city attorney helps keep us legal, and she helps keep us on task during the meetings. And then city clerk, if I can interrupt you just for 1 second. This is our city clerk. This is Miss Jessa Brandon. Can you say hi, Miss Jessa, again?
Hi, Miss Jessa.
Can you tell us a little bit about what our city clerk does?
At the meetings, the city clerk is who reads all of the laws into vote when the mayor asks me to, and then after I read it in, I take the roll call for the vote, and then I'll record that and keep it. So like anytime you open a history book, you're looking at stuff that clerks have kept over time. So if you want to go back to 1792, the beginning of Henderson, and see everything in a book and what we've done for that many years, it's all in my office, and I can look that up for whoever needs it.
All right, that was a good job. Everybody give her a big round of applause. Thank you. And can we have a volunteer to come up and be the city clerk? Now, I'll tell you, the city clerk's going to have a reading and speaking role in today's thing, just in case you might be a little nervous about that. But volunteers for city clerk, how about right here? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And if you can sit here, now I'm going to invite our special guest. She is not part of our city government. She actually works for county government. Again, I introduced you earlier. Her name is Renisa Abner. She's our county clerk. One of the main things that she does is certify elections in our county. I'm going to have her tell you a little bit more about what the county clerk does, and then she's going to announce the winner of our election for mock city government this morning, okay? Ms. Renisa?
Hello, thank you for letting me speak to you today, and thank you to Mayor Staten for inviting me. I do a lot in my office. It's right next door. I'm sure you've been in there maybe with your mom and dad, licensing vehicles and things like that. But one of the main things I do is conduct elections every year. And just like you all did this exercise this morning, that was a mock or a pretend election. We have real elections that happen twice a year, and I'm responsible for managing all of the voters who register to vote. And in order to participate in an election, you do have to register to vote. And that involves presenting an ID, and when you turn 18, you're going to bring that in, and you are going to say where you live, and then you're going to sign a card that says what party you belong to, and I keep up with all of that information. And then on election day, I process and prepare a ballot with all the candidates' names, and those are all your people you can vote for to represent you in both local and state and federal government races. And so that ballot will be at the polling location, and you can vote for whoever you choose. And then we also compile the results at the end of the night and report those. So that's one of the big jobs that I have to do. So whenever you turn 18, remember, it's very important for you to participate in our government and be able to select the people that represent you. Yes?
So you're the person that makes the papers that are parents go to vote for?
Yes, the ballots.
The ballots?
What Mayor Staten was referring to earlier. Yes, the ballots. So, but any other questions? Okay. Yes.
Are you allowed to vote?
I am allowed to vote, and I did vote for myself when I ran for office. So, yes.
I know it sounds so selfish to vote for yourself. It really does. But if in reality, when people are our age and they're running for office, they try to get as many votes as they can, including their own and their families and things like that. It's the person with the most votes ends up winning. So in my race, in the mayor's race, and we're about to certify the election. In my race, if there are more than 2 people who run for mayor, then we have what's called a primary. And on May the 19th is the primary here in Henderson, Kentucky. The word primary just means first in a lot of cases. And in this case, it also means first. It's the first election of the year. If there are 3 or more people running for mayor, we have a primary, and the top 2 vote getters who get the most votes, the top 2, move on to the general election in November. And then the winner of that election becomes the mayor. Okay, we're skipping a lot of steps this morning, just want to fill in. But you have the results this morning for Mock City, right?
I do.
Can we have a drum roll, please? Everybody just
All right. Congratulations to Jace Raines, our mayor for today.
Congratulations, if you would. We're going to go the same way everybody else did. Just go around here, watch your step. Sorry I didn't mention that earlier, but there is a step there, and you can sit. This is where I sit at the meeting. So you're going to sit where I sit. Put on a little tag with Mayor, and we're going to come back to you, okay? But everybody who ran this morning, it takes a lot of courage to get up in front of people, to run for office, to put your name out there, to do public speaking. Can we give everybody who volunteered to run for mayor this morning a huge round of applause? Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you what is going to sound like a random question, but does anybody know what a side-by-side is? Yeah, what's a side-by-side?
It's like kind of like a car.
Kind of like a car.
A 6-seater probably.
Okay. You want to help describe it a little bit more?
Well, I go to this campground and there's a lot of side-by-sides.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an off-roading vehicle that you can it's not just for off-roading, but you can go on it's kind of like, it is kind of like a car, but
Yeah.
it's, you not driving on roads.
Okay. So we're actually going to talk about that, okay? So you're all right. All the description of the side-by-side, another class described it as a four-wheeler with a roll cage on top. And so they're kind of off-road vehicles. The reason I bring that up is because, does everybody remember the big snow we had back in January? Yeah, a lot, right? Probably the most snow that most of you have seen in your entire life at one time. So we had snow, depending on where you live in Henderson, we got up to about 10 inches of snow. We got some calls right after the snow that said, hey, the county legalized driving side-by-sides on the road. However, we cannot drive them on the streets in the city because they're not legal yet. However, we can put a scraper on the front and we can scrape people's driveways, we can scrape people's roads, we can really help out if there's ever a snowstorm. We think that you guys should consider allowing those on the road just in case the next time we have a big snow, we can have more people helping our neighbors. And so we thought that was a good argument, right? And we voted 5-0 to pass allowing side-by-sides on the roads and city streets for that reason. Does anybody know what the word is if you pass something and everybody votes the same way? What kind of a vote is that? What? Unanimous, right? So we voted unanimously to allow side-by-sides on the road. So for mock city government this morning, and what we're about to go through, is I'm going to present you with another scenario. We've allowed these side-by-sides on city streets, okay? And now there are a group of people who have come to us, not yet, this hasn't really happened, but it could. But for the purposes this morning, we're going to pretend like there's a group of people who have come to you and they have said, well, you allowed side-by-sides on the road. Now we want you to consider allowing golf carts to drive on the roads and to drive on city streets, okay? Now, some things that you need to know about these golf carts is if we're going to allow them, they have to have a couple of things with them, okay? They have to be licensed. You have to be a licensed driver to be able to drive them on the road. They have to have headlights and taillights. They have to have turn signals, and they have to have a seatbelt, okay? So assuming that they have all of those safety features, then we have to consider, you all will have to consider, whether you want to vote to allow golf carts on the streets or if you want to vote to not allow golf carts on the streets. A lot of times when we have these meetings, I want to stress to everybody in the room how much power you have at the local level to influence decisions that we make, okay? It's very difficult for one person to make a difference at the federal level because there's so many people from so many different areas and so much going on. But at the local level, one person really can make a difference, or a small group of people really can make a difference. So a lot of times when we're voting on something, especially if it's controversial, people will come to our meetings and they will argue one way or another to allow golf carts or to not allow golf carts on the street, okay? And so what I'm going to need, and you're going to need to listen before you raise your hands because we'll need 2 sets of volunteers. One set of volunteers, there are going to be 3 people who are going to argue for allowing golf carts to drive on the streets. Can I have some volunteers who would like to argue for allowing golf carts on the streets? Right here, in the back, right there. They just come on up whenever I point at you, okay? So we've got 1, 2, and 3. So we've got 3 people. If you want to come up, just stand right here and remind me, because I will forget, that you are the ones who are arguing for allowing golf carts on the streets, okay? You're going to have a little bit of time. Do you guys know what a podium is?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have the podium set up. That's a podium because it'd be difficult to see you guys. We're going to pretend like this tree stump is a podium. Not that you stand on, but that you stand in front of. So when you're addressing the city commission here in a minute, you'll pretend this is a podium, and then you'll tell them why you think we should allow golf carts on the street. You got plenty of time to be thinking about what your arguments are going to be, okay? Now I need 3 people, yeah, you know what this one's going to be, right? To argue against allowing golf carts on the street. How about in the back here? What's that?
That one right there.
What should you pick?
You, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, and why don't you pick one, right?
Let's go slow.
All right. If the 3 of you can come up and stand right here. So in a minute, I'm going to ask you to argue to the city commission why you think we should not allow golf carts on the street, okay? And then going back to this, we vote in a certain order on the city commission. In our setup, the mayor always votes last. It doesn't have to be like that. In other cities, the mayor always votes first to kind of set the tone. In ours, historically, the mayor has always voted last. Why do you think the mayor votes last? Yeah, why would you think the mayor votes last?
It's probably private people that voted before and who left the mayor, they probably going to try to change their
Okay, yeah, no, good answer. So the mayor should consider everybody's thoughts, right? That's what we're getting at? Yes, sir, what did the mayor vote now? To make the final decision? Yeah, so both of those are actually a good point. And for the most part, that is why the mayor votes last, is because if we are going to have a tie, first of all, we're set up with 5 people so we can try not to have ties. But if we're going to have a tie and someone needs to break that tie, then the pressure falls on the mayor to break that tie. And so the mayor has the ability to hear everybody's thoughts, to hear from the audience, who wants to come up and tell us how you feel. You hate golf carts over here, or golf cart lovers over here, right? So we get to hear from the audience. I get to hear what all the city commissioners say and how they vote and all those things, and then make one final decision. We've had a few cases over the years where the mayor's had to break a tie. Now, we haven't had as many lately, but they do come up. So that's why the mayor votes last. So up here, I'm sure you all have been instructed. I'm going to provide them just a little bit of instruction, then we're going to get started. The city clerk is the one who does a roll call. You guys know what a roll call is? Somebody just tell me what a roll call is. What's a roll call?
Where they say like all their names.
They say all their names and then they get a response, right? And so the mayor will eventually ask for a roll call. When he asks for a roll call, you're going to read the names on here: Commissioner of this, Commissioner of that, Commissioner of that, Commissioner of that. And when you read the commissioners' names and then when you read the mayor's name, commissioners are going to respond with one word answer. It's going to be aye or it's going to be nay. Somebody just, you don't have to raise your hand. Tell me what aye means. Yes, and what's nay mean? No. Yeah. So if you say aye, it means yes. If you say no, if you say nay, it means no. And so we'll go through a roll call after they hear from the audience. Okay, so they want to hear from you. We want to hear from people in the city on everything that you care about. We do a better job when we are connected with people in the city. And so it's very important that if you or your parents have an opinion about something, that they reach out to us. They either come to the meetings, they call us, they connect with us on social media, let us know that we need to have a conversation somewhere. Any of that stuff, we do a better job if we know how you feel about certain issues. Because our goal, like Rodney said and like Robert said earlier, our goal is to work for you and to do the best job for the city that we can, right? And so here in a minute, first of all, we need to open the meeting. So pick up this is called a gavel. Does everybody know what a gavel is?
Yes.
See my little hammer? Okay, so we need to open the meeting. So can you bang the gavel and say this meeting is open?
This meeting is open.
All right. Everybody give a big round of applause. So I wish that our meetings were like this in real life, where people would show up and clap for us all the time. It's not realistic. It doesn't happen a lot. Sometimes when we recognize people, they'll get claps, and that's good. But thank you for supporting your classmates. This is the way, honestly, it should be in life. So we got the meeting open. Now we're going to ask for a motion. And a motion, usually if you think of motion, you think of movement, right? I'm making motions, right? So in a motion, when he asks for a motion, he's just going to ask for somebody to move something so that it can be discussed and so that it can be voted on. So what I want you to say is, can I have a motion to approve golf carts on the streets?
Can I have a motion to approve golf carts on the streets?
Now, one of the commissioners will then say the words, "so moved." You don't have to raise your hand. You just say the word "so moved." Any of the commissioners who want to, just say the word "so moved."
So moved.
Okay, so you got 4. Now, what the city clerk does in real life is sometimes we do say things at the same time, and it's her job to figure out who says it's faster and who says it loud. And so she will write down one name as to who made that motion. So somebody made the motion on there, and now we have to have what's called a second. And a second is just somebody else who agrees that we need to discuss it and vote on it. We haven't taken a vote yet. We're just moving it to a place where we can take a vote on it. So say the words, "Can I have a second?"
Can I have a second?
And any commissioner can say the word "second."
Second.
Okay, so we've got a motion, we've got a second, the city clerk recorded it. Here in a bit, after our discussion, when the mayor asks for a roll call, then you will say Commissioner Harpo. And when you say Commissioner Harpo will then say aye or nay, okay? And then you say the next one on through, and then we'll figure out how we're going to fare. But before we vote, we want to hear from people. So now that this is on the floor, we're going to have a nice discussion, okay? So are you all the golf cart lovers or haters? Haters, okay. And are you all the golf cart lovers over here, right? Okay, so we're going to have the haters go first. Is that okay? Everybody want the haters go first? All right. So if you would, come up here and stand right here as if this were a podium, because you're talking to them now, not the class. And tell them in kind of a loud voice so they can kind of hear you behind you. Tell them your name and tell them why you think we should not allow golf carts on the streets, okay? So step right up. No, not on top of the stuff this time. Yeah. It's right there in front of you. Yes, ma'am. All right, what's your name and why should we not allow golf carts on the street?
My name is Charlie Mitchell, and we shouldn't have golf carts because some people can be really reckless with them, and people can use them in bad ways.
All right, some people can be reckless and some people can use them in bad ways. Give her a big round of applause. Say your name and tell us why you think we should not allow golf carts on the street.
My name is Sloan, and I don't think we should allow golf carts on the street because there's no doors, and like if something happens to the seatbelt and it won't work, something really bad could happen.
All right. All right, your name and why you think we should not allow golf carts on the streets.
My name is Maggie Sutton, and I think we should not have golf carts on the road because it could make a safety issue with like car seats and for like little kids. And there's not doors, so usually someone could fall out. And also by the high school, you know how they were like redoing the road and stuff? And there was like a bunch of accidents recently for like reckless driving or whatever. I think golf carts could make a big problem with the cars and going slower, so
Good job. And now we're going to hear from the golf cart lovers. Tell us your name and why you think we should allow golf carts on the street, okay?
My name is Anna Shores.
And speak a little louder if you can.
My name is Anna Shores. I think we should allow golf carts on the road because it will give you more fresh air since there's no doors. And when you get out of the car, you don't have to open the door, so it's easier and it will be more fun.
So fresh air, more fun, easier. All right, good job. All right, tell us your name and why we should allow golf carts on the street.
My name's Madeline Clements, and I think we should allow golf carts on the road because for people that don't have a lot of money could maybe afford golf carts, not cars, so they would at least not have to walk everywhere, and so they could at least drive.
All right, good job. All right, tell us your name and why we should allow golf carts on the streets.
My name is Jace Boyd, and the reason why we should allow golf carts on the streets is because golf carts can get modifications like doors, sturdier roofs, and roll cages to prevent accidents and lower the cost of accidents if they do happen.
All right, good job. Thank you, guys. You all are welcome to go back to your seats. Now, at this point, after we've heard from the audience, the mayor would typically ask the commission, and I want you to ask your commissioners, does anyone have any other questions or comments? Can you just say that?
Does anyone have any questions or comments?
So, does any commissioner want to comment? You're welcome to. You don't have to. All right. What would you like to say?
I feel like Jace Moy's point, he said that people can get like other stuff to protect them, but most people don't have the money, so I disagree with that.
Thank you. And yes.
I think that the golf carts are a good decision because the people without money can afford them, and just because some people are reckless drivers doesn't mean they have to be. So if we really take time to consider, like, maybe we, like, have better driving tests so that people won't drive as reckless or anything.
Good point. And now our city manager is not a voting member of our city commission. In fact, the city commissioners and the mayor, we decide on who the city manager is, and we also regularly review the job performance of our city manager to make sure that that person is doing the job up to snuff, like doing the job effectively enough to run our city, okay? But in situations like this, it's kind of complex. And you've already heard, we've got golf cart haters, we've got golf cart lovers, and even up on the commission, we know we've got a golf cart lover and a golf cart hater up here, right? So what, based on your expertise and with everything you know about what's going on in the city, what's your opinion? Which way do you think the city commission should go on this one?
I think that we should not
do golf carts because it does increase accident rate, and even though you can get modifications, it can still affect the people in the world around us.
Good job. Everybody give everybody who commented. So we are almost up to that magic moment, and something that we don't do at our meetings, and really it would be unfair if we did. We have a city with almost 30,000 people in it, and so we cannot base all of our decisions on just the opinions of 30 people who show up at a meeting. It's our job to reach out to as many people as possible, make sure that we're as informed on an issue as we can be. And so we do not do this as part of our meeting, but as part of our mock city government, I want to know from you guys. Based on everything that you've heard today, and based on the arguments from your classmates and what you've heard from your city manager and your city commission so far, by show of hands, and I want you to raise your hand once and only once, but I do want you to at least raise your hand once. How many people think that the commission should vote to allow golf carts on the streets? By show of hands. Okay, so about a third of the class, almost about half of the class. How many people think that the commission should not vote to allow golf carts on the street? So you guys are pretty evenly split, and we have a lot of issues that come up from time to time. And I will tell you, I'll tell you the results of the classes before you after the meeting and after the decision. But I will tell you, most every class that we've had has been almost evenly split on this specific issue. And so if we ever have to hear this issue, I'm anticipating that we're going to be evenly split. And that we're going to have it's probably not going to be a unanimous vote. It's probably going to be some people vote yes, some people vote no for different reasons, and all the good reasons that you all brought up, right? So now we're going to hear from the people that we elected and the people that we appointed up here. By the way, if you're ever wanting to run for city commissioner in Henderson, it works similar to how the mayor's job in terms of elections go. If there's more than 8 people who file, then we have a primary. This year we had 10 people file, so we do have a primary election. In that election, the top 8 vote getters then move on to the general election. And then in the general election, the top 4 vote getters move on to join me on the city commission. And that's how that's going to work this year. I am fortunate to be unopposed, so I don't have an opponent this year. So unless something catastrophic happens, I know that I will continue to be the mayor for 4 more years after that. It doesn't always happen like that. Most of the time it is opposed. And campaigning is very difficult and long, and so I'm very appreciative of that. But right now, we're going to hear from the city commission. And so for the mayor, I want you to say, can I have a roll call, please? And when he says that, are you ready? You know what to do? Yep. All right. So say, can I have a roll call, please?
Can I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Harple.
Nay.
Commissioner Nunley.
Nay.
Commissioner McCall.
Aye.
Commissioner Osborne.
Nay.
Oh, okay. And?
Mayor Raines.
Nay.
Nay. So we had 3 commissioners and the mayor vote nay, and then 1 commissioner vote aye. So who won? Which side won? What won? The nay vote won, right? Because that's the majority. So now in our mock city, we are not going to allow golf carts to drive on the streets. And the interesting thing is that this is the 6th class, maybe 7th, I don't remember, 6th. This is the 6th class that we taught this year, and 1 class voted to allow them, and it was a 3-2 vote to allow them, I think, and then every other class said no. And I would have thought when we started this that everybody would have said yes, because golf carts kind of fun to drive on and stuff like that. But it's interesting to hear from you guys. Everybody give them a big round of applause. Please take your lanyards off and go back to your seats. And we're going to do one more thing. That's going to complete our simulation or our mock city government. But while we have you here, and I'll get you out of here probably in about 5 minutes, okay? While we've got you here, we want to ask you for some feedback as soon as they get seated. Not on the class, but about some other things.
Daddy, watch the steps.
All right, watch your steps coming down, guys. All right, and they already have their outvoted stickers and everything. Good deal. Okay, so we have spent the last year and a half doing what's called a Parks Master Plan. And we already have a list of things that we're definitely going to be looking at or working on in the future. Some of the things that we're working on is like a new swimming pool we've got Atkinson Pool, but it's past what's called its useful life. Does anybody know what a useful life is? Yeah, what do you think a useful life is?
So how long it's been able to be used?
Yeah, how long something is predicted to be able to be used. So like a roof, when you put a roof on a house, depending on what type of roof it is, it may be predicted to last 25 years. Could last 30 to 40, it could last 10 to 15, depending on circumstances, but the prediction is 25 years. So the pool was predicted to not be during its useful life anymore about 2 to 3 years ago. We opened it many years ago. It's predicted to last a certain amount of time. That time ran out about 2 to 3 years ago. A pool is an amenity that we all agree on at the City Commission that we want to provide for the community. Now, how we provide it, we may have some differences of opinion. But that discussion is going to start. We're taking a look at adding a mountain bike course out at Atkinson Park for people who drive mountain bikes. Because one of the things we're looking at is our parks do a really good job of reaching children aged 3 to 10 years old. But once they get to be about your age, and you start to age out of a lot of things that we offer at our parks. Because the slides and swings that used to be bigger when you were smaller, now are all of a sudden getting smaller as you get bigger. And you're growing out of things. And so we want to make sure that we reach you guys and that we're doing things that you would like to see in Henderson. We're taking a look at doing the drive-in movie theater and some other things. But right now, I want to ask you guys, just for about 5 minutes, I want to know if parks or anything related to businesses or restaurants or whatever you want to see, what are some things that you would like to see in Henderson that we currently do not have? Okay? Yes?
I kind of want to see like just a big area of like an open plain that people can use to ride around if they live in the city or neighborhood and they don't have anywhere to ride around. And you could like go to the park and there'd be like a big open space that they could ride around in.
Good deal. So an open space to ride around like bikes and stuff like that? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Maybe 4-wheelers.
Bikes, 4-wheelers, ATVs, something like that. Thank you. What about you?
We should have a zoo because a lot of people can't really afford to drive all the way to Evansville.
Yep.
Because it's kind of expensive.
So a zoo? What else?
I would like to see maybe an arcade or something.
Yeah, an arcade. So what kind of arcade?
Like maybe that Walter's Golf and Fun.
Oh, that's a fun place, yeah.
I wish we had a place where we could just go and play games.
Me
and,
too.
Eat pizza and play mini golf with our friends and family.
Yeah, no, that would be fantastic. Just play golf, mini golf, arcade, pizza, yeah.
I would like the small water park that we typically go in the summer.
A small water park, urban air. So I was waiting on that one because we did that one every time. Chick-fil-A. I will tell you, and keep your hands up. I'll be very quickly. Chick-fil-A is something we're working on. Time out. It's something that we're working on that hasn't happened yet, but we have gone out the last 2 years, and we're being more intentional about the businesses that we want to bring to Henderson. Because we know that your parents have told us they want to see new supermarkets and different hotels and certain restaurants like Chick-fil-A, Zaxby's, something along those lines. And so those are the things that we have kind of behind the scenes been trying to push to bring to Henderson. And we hope that sometime very soon we'll have an announcement about it. Don't get your hopes up yet, but it is something that we are working on because we know that a lot of people want to see that. Yes, sir.
Because those companies have to agree to come here. It's not just like
They do.
get it and build it. They
Thank
have
you.
to kind of agree on coming here. I think
They do. So we can't just make a magic wand and make them. There has to be somebody who wants to run it, and there's all different kinds of stipulations. You have to have a certain daytime population and land available and stuff like that. However, we bought a 40-acre tract of land over by Walmart when we put in a new housing neighborhood, and we're using that to recruit retail. And so we have a list of things that are priorities, and that's definitely on our priority list. Yes, sir?
Bike trails.
Bike trails?
I was thinking, like you said, as we get older, like the swings, stuff gets smaller.
Yeah.
I think, by the parks, we should add, sports like that, like basketball courts, soccer fields, and some baseball fields for, a a lot of kids like to play sports, and I think we should have that.
Let me ask you about sports just for a second, okay? I'm going to ask you this question, and then we'll take like two more, and then we kind of get you out of here because you got to go to lunch. So about sports, are there any sports that you currently? Wait. I know there's sports. So are there any sports that are currently not offered in Henderson that you believe that you might want to play one? Yeah. Hockey? Cricket? Lacrosse? Let me specifically ask about lacrosse and hockey, okay? So we have a sports complex that has one multi-purpose field, and we're probably going to add 2 or 3 more grass fields out there that are primarily going to be used for soccer. However, because we have them, they could be used for sports like field hockey, and they could be used for sports like lacrosse. And there was a group that was a part of another project a couple of years ago that said that they wanted to try to bring more sports to Henderson. Does everybody know what lacrosse is? Yes. Yeah, okay. So if we brought lacrosse to Henderson, if we worked with the school system and other people who are interested and brought lacrosse to Henderson, is that something that you guys would be interested in, or is that something that we're missing the mark on? I know you would because you said yes. Is everybody else, like, you guys, how do you feel about lacrosse? Everybody think that's a good thing? Yes. Okay. So don't know, but a lot of yeses and stuff. We want to touch base with you because if we don't talk to people like you, then what you get is a bunch of adults making decisions for kids about what our childhood was like, like what we liked when we were kids, instead of what you like now as your kids. And so it's important that we reach out to you and involve you in the discussion. We can do two more of what you want to see in Henderson. What right here?
Then play baseball, St. Mary's.
A target? Yeah, I love a target. And right here, this is awesome.
I would like to add like a laser tag.
Laser tag? Yeah. So you may want to join forces with this young lady up here. Who was it that said Walter? It was you, right? Yeah. So y'all may want to join forces one day, pull your money together, and open up a Walters-like business in Henderson, right? So these are things like those types of businesses, like going back to what you said. It's not, a lot of these businesses are not something that the city would run. It's the city can help facilitate or help somebody who wants to run a business like that come and be successful here in Henderson. So we have got to wrap things up because you guys have to go to lunch and we've got to get out too. Thank you guys so much for coming to the city today, being a part of our mock city government. We hope you learned a lot more about what goes on with our city government, and we certainly learned a lot more from you guys and about you guys. And right now we have certificates for everyone who participated on our panel, and when we call the names, if you guys would cheer real loudly for your classmates, that would be great. So first off, oh, you can.
Okay, Bennett Hartful. Madison Nunley. Piper McCall. Matthew Osborne. Jace Rains. Hallie Purtle. Israel Best. Cadence Bryant.
We can, yeah. Would you guys mind to come up here and take a big group picture real quick?
Social media. We need the social media lights. We need social media.
Got a crowd in here.
I need to be at the front, I'm short. Be at the front. Wait, we should let the people who like, we should have
You did good. Look, it's all the kids.
like the mayor should get on the stage.
Yeah, get up there, corporate.
Get on the stump in the back. No, well,
Yeah.
we're fine.
We're good.
If you were on the panel, we get a picture.
We're working on pickleball.
We're working on that.
We're working on it. Wait, hey, can you, yeah, thank you. That's good. All right, everybody get situated.
You're supposed to go up front. Go up front.
Everybody get situated. All right.
Here we go.
What? Wait, whoa. All right.
Good.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. You did good. Hey, I did good.